So it's been quite a few weeks since our last video, and that's because SPACEBUS is still in the dealership or the garage being repaired, and there's quite a lot of things that we wanted to do, not because it needed to be done, but we felt that sometimes it's just good to do work for basic maintenance and making sure that this vehicle is safe to be on the road and we are going to be safe in it. So what are we having done? Well, things like bogey pins. There are a significant component that holds on the rear wheels and the rear suspension system. It's going to have new alloy wheels with new tires. The tires were old and cracked, so the tires need to be replaced anyway. Whilst we're doing that, the whole system's coming off, the whole wheel system's coming off, so we're having all the bearings checked and replaced as appropriate. We've got new fuel lines, new brake lines. And the reason why we're having new fuel lines and brake lines is the brake lines are a bit corroded from time, but the fuel lines, they're made from old rubber, and with new ethanol in fuel, ethanol actually corrodes the older rubber. So in order to make sure that those pipes are still safe and providing fuel to the engine and they don't create air cracks and damage to those hoses, we're having them all replaced. And that way then it's good for fuel in the future. If we need to use ethanol or want to use ethanol, it's not going to be a problem for us. We're having all the CV joints replaced on the front and new CV boots. New CV joints also on the steering rack and a CV boot on the steering rack. The whole heating system inside in terms of the dashboard heating is also being checked over and repaired because the heating element wasn't working properly. That's been resolved. We have checked the black tanks and all the piping that goes to the black tanks, checked for leaks. And those types of things. So there's a whole host of things in addition to just regular diagnostics and maintenance and repair on the vehicle, on the engine. Of course, just regular servicing as well, replacing old timing chains and old components that are not made of metal, but rather there are some composite materials in there that, again, just over time, better to replace it now whilst we're opening the whole thing up and have it done properly. So that gives you an overview, but what have we been doing in the meantime? So let's take a look. Louise has almost completed the third unit, also looking good. And here is the storage unit, and the storage unit is also coming along. This has actually now been primed and is ready for a next coat. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is repairing the storage box. At some point it's received a couple of cracks because of being forced open, where it's been the clasps have not been released properly. Let me show you that. So there are 3 clasps like this, and if they're kind of caught and they try and lift it, it puts pressure on these areas. And you can see here, I hope you can see, there is actually a hairline crack. Actually, not a hairline crack, there is a crack there on both pieces, on the top and on the bottom. This has just been primed so far, but what I'm doing is I'm putting a bracket on, basically. Here we go, like this. And that bracket's going to fit right behind, and I'm going to bolt that together so it takes the pressure off this separating here, and therefore I'll be able to have more security and also more assurance that this is not going to crack further and damage the unit further. So I'm going to just drill the holes. And that will then, we'll do that on both sides, and that will hold the unit in place. So what we're using here is a size 10 1/2-inch bolt and nut. I'm going to put a compression washer on the back of it as well, along with the panel, the brace at the back. I wasn't going to put in a washer at the front because I just don't want the look of that. And these will be sprayed over. I'll prime again and spray over these so it'll actually just blend in a little bit better. Inside the storage unit is also been primed, but with a cream primer. And I've just done some testing already as well with some finish paint, but it's looking way better. The arms here need to be reattached You can see some holes here. They were actually all ripped out. There were some rivets in there that were broken. So I'm actually going to drill right through those, and I'm going to put those in with bolts. So these arms will actually support the unit. And along here, we're going to put in some rubber stripping. So it'll actually seal the unit, or at least give some better protection for the unit. But it's looking way, way better already. So today I'm going to work again on the storage pod. It's already had a little bit of work done on it. It's been primed on the outside, it's been primed on the inside with actually a primer and finishing paint on the inside. But I want to do that again because I want to make sure that that's got a really good, nice, thick, durable surface that's robust. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mask everything off and prepare for the final interior prep and get that finished. Fix on the arms that basically help the unit stay open or basically actuate the opening of the pod, and get that done. And once that's been done, then we'll work on the exterior and put in some of the final coatings on that. But let's do first things first. Let's do the inside. So this is how the storage pod now looks. The interior is now spray painted, and it looks great. Nice, shiny, clean, and will go back together well. So this is really simple to use. It's basically a sticky tear off. It's 1/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch, and that will go all the way around this top kind of metal bar here. As I say, it's not going to provide any water protection. It'll provide a little bit, but it's really designed to give a softer close when the lid comes over. It's not banging and clanging against the metal, but also gives a little bit of protection and a better seal for the unit. And that is what it looks like installed. One nice continuous barrier. So here is the finished product for the storage bin. Looks a lot better. It's a little bit beaten around the edges, but we've tidied up as much as we can, but it'll look much better going back on the coach.
Welcome to our kitchen. We've taken the restoration project indoors because the coach is at the garage, and we think it's going to be there for quite a while. So we're concentrating now on prepping the items to go back in. So with that, we've purchased our microwave to replace the one that we took out. Bear in mind the weight, but the one we took out was quite heavy. I don't know the exact weight of this, but we bought this one in Walmart for a bargain of $108. That's Canadian dollars. And we're going to give it a try to see how it works before we put it back in, because not only is it a microwave, it has the normal microwave functions, and it also has a convection oven and an air fryer, which I've never air fried with cooking before. So we're going to give that a try, and we're going to show you the results. We're going to make some chicken wings and chicken breast, and we'll see how that goes.
So let me show you the progress that we're making on the cabinets and the kitchen units. We've been reconstructing from the materials, replaced with a lot of new materials, rebuilt them, reshaped them, resized them, and here's what they look like. So we've got our garage back after cleaning it all out and organizing everything. And now I'm kind of reassembling some of the kitchen components. They've been basically made up from different parts. And I'm just, putting it back together and seeing what we want to do with it. So this is basically rebuilt from a lot of the materials that we had, that we took out. And we're going to build a microwave drawer, or microwave cupboard in there. The microwave is going to take about this much space. And this is the microwave we're thinking of putting in there. It's actually a microwave, come fryer, and what else is it? Fryer, microwave, and convection oven. And we try to get the smallest one we can because we don't want to take up the space if we can help it. And let's see how that comes together. I'll try and build that tomorrow and get a frame, and we'll sand it all down, we'll get it primed if we can to see how this will go. What we're going to do then is deconstruct it when the vehicle comes back from the repair shop, and then install it once again back in the SPACEBUS once it's back here. So here we have a partially primed kitchen unit. As you can see, it's been dismantled a little bit, but it's just drying. It's just had a rough first coat, and it'll allow us to apply a more robust paint because this will get a bit more hit and damage as just from general wear and tear. So we want this to be almost scratch proof. So let's see, we'll do some testing, we'll see how it holds up.
It's like I'm cooking. So today's job is to paint the kitchen cabinets. Stop. Today's job. No, I can't. You're just making me laugh now. Keep staring then. I'm smiling, staring and smiling. Okay, so today's job, my job, is to paint the cabinets blue. They've already been, the doors and the frame of the kitchen cabinet has been sanded because this was also melamine, like the storage cabinets. And a different technique we tried rather than painting on the primer was to spray it on because that's quicker and easier. So this is an example of the kitchen door that has been primed. Now it's a bit of a process because we need to let it completely dry and then flip it over and then prime it again and then paint it. So again, we have chosen a colour from our house renovations, which is this beautiful blue colour. I don't know the exact name of it, but that's on our wall downstairs, and it's we love the colour, so it's going to be in our motorhome kitchen.
So here we have the various stages of completion for all the different components of the doors and the cabinets. As you can see, using every platform we can to try and dry things out. The lighter doors that you see there, they're going to actually be, that's primer, and they will actually be receiving a coat of light coloured paint, which is why they've been primed with white and not grey. Getting there.
So to test out the microwave, we're going to make a small batch of chicken wings and a couple of chicken breasts and give this thing a go and see if it's going to actually be practical to use in the motorhome. Let's see how they look. hot. They smell really good.